You see that? It's been a while since I came by here during a thunderstorm.
The younger officer leaned across the seat and looked out the window.
What is she doing? She's got to be soaked to the bone. Telling the storm to stop.
The younger officer grunted.
Somebody should tell her the clouds aren't listening.
Chapter 1. Putting my hand on the brass doorknob, I glanced at my watch before opening the door. Zach and I wouldn't get to Powell Station before dark unless we left Savannah within the hour. Mama and Daddy shouldn't see the young lawyer's light brown ponytail for the first time after sunset. On the wall of the conference room hung a massive painting of the Savannah waterfront before the Civil War. At the end of the shiny table sat Joe Carpenter, the managing partner of Braddock, Appleby & Carpenter. To his left was Myra Dean, a litigation paralegal. Across the table was a man I'd never met.
Tami, Mr. Carpenter said, this is Mr. Jason Paulding.
Paulding, a balding, stocky man in his early 40s, wore an open-collared shirt with a steel beam embroidered on the front. His round head would be the perfect resting place for a hard hat.
Any projects you have to finish before the end of the day? Mr. Carpenter asked me.
No, sir, but...
Good.
The tall, gray-haired lawyer continued.
As soon as Jason started going over his problem, I knew this was a case for you. You know something about fanatic religious groups, don't you?
No, sir, except what I read in the paper. I've never been to the Middle East.
Mr. Carpenter smiled slightly. I don't mean terrorists. I'm talking about the lunatic fringe of the church. Fundamentalists who don't know where religion stops and tolerance begins.
The lawyer turned toward Paulding.
Tami is one of the sharpest summer law clerks we've ever had at the firm. She goes to church every time the doors open, but her beliefs make her tougher, not softer. There's no turn the other cheek in her version of the Bible. A week ago, she stared me down in a criminal matter when I challenged her judgment.
His assessment of my conduct in State v. Jones made me wince. Mr. Carpenter, that's not quite accurate.
Don't argue with me now,
the senior partner said, cutting me off.
Save your ammunition for Ramona Dabney, the dime store preacher who claims Mr. Paulding is the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler. It's worse than that, Paulding said, and I want it stopped. I offered the church twice the appraised value for its property. All I got back was a bunch of harassing phone calls to people all over town. Jason and his staff have done some of the homework for us,
Mr. Carpenter said, sliding a sheet of paper across the table.
This is a list of people contacted by Dabney. She even organized a protest outside our corporate office. Myra, copy this list for Tami, divide the names, and interview all of them. There may be more. Get affidavits or recorded statements from those willing to sign one, then provide a summary to me.
What are we asking them? I asked.
Everything you can think of, Mr. Carpenter said. Don't let anyone try to tell you what they think is important. Find out for yourself. Persistence is one of your strengths. Use it.
Mr. Carpenter's mind could race ahead so fast it was difficult to see more than a cloud of dust in the distance. If patient, I hoped a fuller explanation of my task would emerge when he came back into view. I pushed my long brown hair behind my ears. "When do you want the summaries and affidavits?" Myra asked. My stomach turned over. A 23-year-old summer clerk wasn't supposed to work overtime, but Mr. Carpenter had started treating me more and more like a junior associate.
In the next few weeks.
I sighed in relief.
Why wait? Paulding asked indignantly. With what I've told you and prepared in advance, don't you have enough to file suit? Our representation is similar to your company building a shopping center. We follow a carefully laid out plan to make sure we're thorough. I don't want a fancy lawsuit that takes 3 years, Paulding said, his voice rising. Last week, this woman wrote my wife a letter accusing me of all kinds of stuff. I know how lawyers drag things out. If you're not going to do anything, I'll find a cheaper lawyer who will.